Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to follow me on social media. There are links in the description below. It's getting weirder. It's the cryptocurrency Bitcoin market is getting weirder than ever because everyone is just buying as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. The other I don't know if I mentioned this one before. Bit of a smidge. For some reason, there's a brand new company announcing that they're going to be buying Bitcoin every 24 hours. Weird, right? Yeah, because it actually is weird that this is happening daily at this point. Who knows? Maybe something is happening with Bitcoin and governments as they continue to de-dollarize and only buy up cryptocurrencies. One of the weird things that I heard about years ago when I first got into the cryptocurrency space was that eventually Bitcoin was going to take over gold. You've heard this before plenty of times. The old number that we used to receive was 800,000. It was that Bitcoin's price needed to go over 800,000 per coin to be able to completely take over and pass by the market cap of gold. A lot of people years ago, remember I told you we had these they weren't even prophets. These were literally just people who were talking about the logical steps of what was going to happen. They talked about inflation. They talked about government breakdowns, US dollar not doing too hot, other fiat currencies, smaller governments beginning to announcing that they're buying Bitcoin, governments mining Bitcoin. We've gone over a lot of this before. A lot of it's all coming true. The other part is that we'd begin to see gold essentially lose its shine, begin to lose its luster comparative to Bitcoin. One of the ideas back then being that gold is too heavy. If you're trying to transport $1 billion, do you want to have $1 billion worth of gold on a ship? I don't even know if you can put that much onto a plane. Or would you rather have a ledger, like a literal USB looking thing that you could, have all your money onto it? You can travel around the world as quick and fast as possible. And even more so, you can just do it on the blockchain. I can transact $1 billion immediately online. You can't really squeeze gold into the computer and kind of hope for the best. So about 2 years ago, we started getting news that apparently a lot of hedge funds were beginning to sell off their paper gold. So gold certificates or gold securities, and basically they were swapping that money into Bitcoin as a just in case. If Bitcoin keeps going up, if the US dollar has lost 99% of its value to Bitcoin in 10 years, it's okay to put a smidge from gold into Bitcoin. We saw this as well during the advent of the ETFs. How many times has it been in the news that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF called iBit has outperformed a gold ETF? The number is 5 or 6 times for those of you who haven't. It's been so many times in the news. Long story short, BlackRock's iBit ETF is the fastest growing ETF ever. And I mean ever. Not this year. Ever. It took, I believe, 300 days for it to do as well as the biggest gold ETFs that took 1,600 days to do the exact same thing. 300, 1,600. We've also been getting a lot of news behind the scenes, if you didn't see this as well, that the United States is apparently considering selling off a huge portion of their gold reserves to buy Bitcoin. So it's happening. But when I saw this one is a little bit too on the nose. The term would be putting a hat on the hat. Not only do we get it, but it's what? That's a little bit too directly on the nose. There's a company in the United Kingdom. They are called Bluebird Mining Ventures. I'm sure you can see exactly where this is going. Their ticker symbol on the stock exchange is BMV.L, apparently. A UK-listed gold mining company has announced plans to convert all future revenue. Yeah, you see where this is going. To convert all future revenue from their operations into Bitcoin. Bluebird Mining Ventures Limited, which focuses on developing gold and silver projects across Asia, said that they intend to become the first publicly listed UK mining firm to adopt a Bitcoin-first strategy. You started a company that mines gold and silver around the world. Do you understand the mental pivot that you have to announce that future revenue, the money that you make in the future, isn't going to go to building this business anymore? It's going to accumulate Bitcoin. I'm really at a loss of words because I don't understand how much more the market can take while not. We should wake up every morning and see that Bitcoin is up by at least 8 or 9% on a daily basis. The companies who announced this, the companies in the last 6 months who've been getting into Bitcoin and buying crypto and stuff like that, their stock valuations upon announcing this rises by 70%, 140%. MicroStrategy stock went up by 3,000% in 2 years. Those are the companies announcing that they're buying it or have bought it. The other part is Bitcoin is far more finite than their stocks. Usually companies issue hundreds of millions, if not billions of stock, like into circulation. There's barely a million Bitcoin left up for grabs. So upon hearing that a gold company is going to be pushing all future revenue into Bitcoin, that Tether is buying tens of thousands of Bitcoin every couple of months, that MicroStrategy and BlackRock are this year working to each accumulate another 400,000 Bitcoin just in 2025. By 2027, 2028, MicroStrategy wants to have anywhere from 1.5 to 1.8 million Bitcoin. This is now company number 25 or 26 that we've been hearing about daily, who is going to be buying up Bitcoin. Some of these companies, if you missed the other videos, have announced they're raising $500 million. They're putting $800 million into Bitcoin. They're putting $1.4 billion into Bitcoin. $5.4 billion into Bitcoin, and that's just within the last week. Doesn't it seem a little weird that prices aren't pumping? I know a huge portion of it has to do with price manipulation, but there has to be a limit. The United States is never going to own 1 million Bitcoin. Cynthia Lummis keeps saying that this is what the US is going to do. They're not going to, unless they plan on doing that in the next year and 3 months, because that's all the time that's left if you miss some of the other videos as well. I know I have to keep saying that. It's because there's so much happening every single day. I saw people before in the comments being like, can you stop saying that? Well, go away, go somewhere else if you don't want actual logic and news. The problem is that there's so much happening every single day. I have to reference what happened before so you can get a complete picture. If I told you that there was a company who was converting all future profits from their gold and silver business into Bitcoin, that's insane. But then when you hear everything else that I just told you and that this keeps happening every 24 hours, that there are now 25 plus companies who are announcing these numbers. We're not hearing $1 or $2 million anymore. We're not hearing $500,000 going into Bitcoin. We're hearing hundreds of millions and billions of dollars from each company rushing into this space. How much longer can the market actually hold? How much longer until we actually do see $1 million Bitcoin? I said it before, something's up. Someone's talking to someone, someone knows something is imminent. And I truly do believe this because it's too weird. We went 14 years without having any company touch crypto, touch Bitcoin. The last 2 years, we had 3 major companies being like, yeah, we're going to get into it. 6 months, it's now almost 30 new companies. Don't forget the other videos. Harvard, Yale, and Brown are also buying Bitcoin. You might have missed that one as well. They've apparently been buying Bitcoin since 2016, 2017. Google it. Harvard buying Bitcoin 2017. Even crazier is that their endowments are now buying huge amounts of the ETFs as well. Sovereign wealth funds, governments are not only buying ETFs, they're also buying Bitcoin spot, like actual physical Bitcoin, if you will. They're also mining Bitcoin. We keep getting news about that as well. So what's happening? Like, what is actually taking place right now? Why are we getting news from the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, talking about if the U.S. doesn't get its debt under control, Bitcoin is going to take over the U.S. dollar and become the new world reserve currency? Like, what are we missing? So yeah, this is crazy news. I don't think I have to even remotely say that to you. Expect that tomorrow there's going to be another company announcing the same thing or something similar, because the other one who just came out of the gate was like, yeah, we're going to buy $800 million worth of Bitcoin. So when there's no Bitcoin left for you, for your friends, for your family, remember these moments. Never forget, there's not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire and billionaire on the planet. Always keep in your mind, the average person right now cannot afford 0.01 Bitcoin. If you have 0.01 Bitcoin, you have more than billions of people on the planet. If you have 0.28 Bitcoin, you are part of the 1%. Well, I hope that you've all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.